What a bullet! Scott Arfield! He's been threatening that recently, and all the Burnley players run to the Darwin end.
Burnley win the next ball. Here's Rory now. On the outside, decent.
He got it! Ashley Barnes with it! What a cross from Rory! And there was Ashley Barnes! And Burnley leading the derby.
Knocks it quickly, finds Benson in space at the byline. Can Burnley get a goal here? Back for Brownell, saved by the keeper.
Burnley won it to the end. That is magnificent. They deserve that.
On by Paul Patella, off for a hat-trick.
He's got it. Hat-trick for Nathan Teller. Oh, he's on fire at the minute. 3-0 Burnley. It's Nathan Teller's day.
And Burnley are 3 up here. Fantastic derby. Here's Benson. Can he go on the outside? Comes inside. Have a shot.
Oh, the goal. Manuel Benson once more. That is top class. Burnley have done it. Fantastic. Clarets deserve the championship title. They've been the best side throughout the campaign. Burnley have won the second tier. What a fantastic achievement. The players have been magnificent.
Yes, hello everybody and welcome along to the latest episode of the Turfcast podcast full-time show with me, Joe Remon, after last night's defeat against Manchester City at the Etihad. And I mean, none of us are surprised, are we? I mean, I'm not being, obviously, negative there, because everybody thought we were going to get beat at the Etihad, but a lot of us are surprised at the fact that it wasn't 5-0, and that is absolutely fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. I am flying solo today, as you can see. Neil and Sam have bailed on me quite late on them both, actually, so we are applying for new members of Turfcast. No, I'm joking, Neil and Sam, if you are managing to watch this. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just one of them things. Both got stuff to do. Neil's got a family, so it is what it is. So please help me out with the comments. Get some comments coming in. I'll pick up everything that we can talk about. I do want to talk about transfers. I want to talk about how people feel about players leaving, players coming in. So please get your comments coming in. But first, I will be discussing last night's game against City, going through some of the goals. I've done these streams on my own before. They're not as good. I will admit that they're not as good. So if it's not your thing, please feel free to leave. But you're dead to me if you do. Just gonna do the City game first, then do the transfers, and yeah, get your comments coming in. We've got the first comment from George Rodriguez. You'll all know him from Twitter, an American fan of Burnley who is actually in Manchester. It's good to see you've made it over safe and sound, mate. I did say have a safe journey on Twitter, so it's good to see that you are here enjoying the sights and sounds of Manchester. I actually work over in Manchester, mate, so I know it quite well, as a lot of people in Burnley do, to be fair. Everyone knows Manchester quite well. If you're from Burnley, lovely place. I just hope it's not raining right now. I don't think it is here, so that means it probably isn't there. Obviously, it's only 30 minutes away. But fingers crossed you have a good time over here, mate. Fingers crossed you see 3 points against Fulham. I have just recorded the Fulham pre-game show. That will be out pretty much straight after this. So, yeah, the Fulham fan is actually not very confident. I will say that. He was American as well, George. He was American as well. If I'm pronouncing that name right, I'm probably not. GOW says, 12 months ago, impossible to think Benson and Zaroury would not be here. What is going on? Then he goes on to say, if they go, still won't play, though. Yeah, it's an interesting one, and we'll get onto that in a bit, mate. We will get onto that. I do find it bizarre that they've not been given game time. Zaroury actually looked really good, I thought, yesterday when he came on. He ran at the players and he made things happen. He got a free kick. I think he got somebody, but was it Doku? So, yeah, it is strange for me to see them both not given game time, but there's rumours of a bit of a rift between Company and Benson. I am not ITK at all. I never pretend to be, so I don't know if that is the case. But if there is rumours of a rift, and there is a rift at Barnfield, it's probably because he's not playing. And if I was him, I'd be pissed off as well. So it is what it is. John says, you are all we need, Joe. Well, thank you, John. If you're watching, Neil and Sam, there you go. You're all sacked. Chris says, shame we still have no left back coming in. Yeah, especially with the injury to Charlie. It's all a bit bizarre, isn't it, that one? It's like the third window where we've needed a left back. Sorry, second. where we've needed a left back and we've just haven't got it. Put all our eggs in the Martin basket in the summer. Obviously, that one failed because he didn't want to come, to be fair. And look at him now at Dortmund. You can't really... Burnley or Dortmund. You can't really blame him, to be honest. But yeah, it's a weird one. But we'll get into that. Let's chat about last night then. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. I know I've done a 60-second review and I know I've done a fan reaction, but I'm going to give you my spiel again. It's 24 hours, obviously, since the game, so I've had time for it to all settle. I thought we played all right. First half, we were poor. We'll go into the goals in a minute. First half, I thought we were poor. Defended poor. Looked a bit sleep. Looked a bit sleep, just in your comment, John. Looked like we were asleep half the time with the goals and stuff. Obviously, I can't show the goals on here, but I will rewatch them and talk through them. And yeah, and as Blake says on there, Fofana looked bright. The second half, I thought we actually looked decent. Better defensively, apart from the first 26 seconds of the second half. Like, what was all that about? They scored so early in that second half. Like, everything Company must have said to them at half-time would have been straight out the window. Straight out the window. They scored after 26 seconds. And, yeah, it was just... You knew we were getting beat when they scored the first... You knew we were getting beat when the fixtures came out, let's be honest. But as soon as that went in, like, it was 100% game, set, and match. And that's what annoyed me, because from when we played after that, we actually looked strong. We looked decent. Fofana came on and looked well. Probably staked a claim to start on Saturday against Fulham, maybe in place of Amdouni, who I don't think has been playing well recently. He's playing out of position slightly because he's playing up top with Foster, and he's not a striker at all, to be fair to him. He's more of a creative player. So that would be the reasons for that. But yeah, I'd probably start Fofana against Fulham and drop Amdouni, like I said. So, yeah. And as Chris says, when the third went in, I was expecting to lose 5-6-0. Same, but that's what I mean. From that, we actually played really well, didn't we? And that's where I get frustrated, because the two goals we gave away in the first half were so sloppy. And now the third goal was a good bit of play from City, but again, a bit of sleep from the half-time break. So if we don't give away two ridiculously sloppy goals in the first half, it's a lot, it'd been a lot tougher for them to win. And that's what annoyed me. They didn't need to get out of second gear in that first half at all, did they? They didn't need to get out of second gear. And that's where I was getting frustrated with them. Burnley, that is, because City weren't having to work for it. And how many times have we lost games this season where teams haven't to work for it? And that's what annoyed me. True Red says, can't blame players for leaving if they aren't playing football matches. Yeah, exactly that, mate. We'll get into Benson and Zarori. And, of course, Connor Roberts, who is going to leave. Stuff might get announced while I'm on air. If it does, apologies if I'm a little bit behind the news, because obviously I won't see it. But as Mark says, 1-1 second half. That's what I mean. Like, it's so much closer, isn't it? It's so much closer in that second half. And it's just a shame that we're giving goals away so cheaply. But I will get into the goals in a minute. I just want to remind everybody that the Turfcast podcast full-time show is now officially sponsored by Wave Car Finance. And breaking news here on Turfcast, everybody. The initial Wave Car Finance sponsorship was like a preliminary, let's see how you get on for 6 weeks sponsorship, but they've actually extended it for the rest of the season. So breaking news, Turfcast and Wave are here for the rest of the season. But Wave Car Finance are a local car finance company who specialise in getting you your dream car through their fantastic one-to-one personalised service. Their finance-first approach ensures that you can secure the very best finance deal in a deal tailored to suit you, and they can even settle any existing finance agreement and swap your current car into a new one. And to celebrate this brilliant new partnership between Wave Car Finance and Turfcast, if you mention Turfcast podcast to them, they will give you a voucher worth up to £200 to spend at the Burnley FC Club shop on completion of your finance deal. So please pop down to their stunning showroom in Whalley, excuse me, or give them a call, or even just send them an email or message them on social media to start your new car adventure today. And don't forget to mention Turfcast, because when you do, you're basically getting £200 worth of free Burnley FC merchandise. GLW says, Bayer and Ekdal still our best partnership. No, I'd say I think O'Shea needs to be in there. I think O'Shea's proved a lot of people wrong, myself included. I think he's actually I'd say O'Shea and Bayer at the minute, to be fair. I don't know. I thought Ekdal would be, but he's not come in and played as well as I thought he would. Honestly, he's not come in and played as well as I thought he would. So I think O'Shea needs to be in there, and I still think Bayer. I know Bayer's made a mistake against Palace, was it, or West Ham, and probably hasn't hit the heights that some of us thought he would do last season. But I do still think he's probably the best that we've got in defence. But we'll see how the new lad gets on. A lot of people asking about transfers. Let's just chat about the City game again first. I do just quickly want to go into the goals. So I'm just watching the first goal here now. Unfortunately, I can't put it on screen, but obviously it comes down our left-hand side, is it? And who's that with the ball there? It's Ekdal. Ekdal has the ball there, running back to, well, not with the ball, but he's running back towards it. There's a slip in the box, and this is a bit that annoys me. It's too easy for the ball to come in. It's far too easy for the ball to come in, and then it's banged in the box. Alvarez is obviously there. He gets in between Ekdal and who's at the back post? Is that Vitinho? He gets in between them two too easily. And yeah, he just turned his back. He just turned his back, gets in between them too easily. And it was just so easy. It's just a nod 4 yards out. And it's just so basic for them, isn't it? It's so basic for them. And yeah, not a great goal to concede from Burnley's point of view. Vincent Kompany must be pulling his hair out. Like, he was so good defensively. And when you've got, yeah, it is Ekdal and Vitinho, it just floats in between them. Like, Ekdal's not looking behind him. Vitinho surely should see him because he's looking at the player. He should step up, in my opinion. Yeah, not a great goal from either of the no, so I'm going to say centre backs, but either of the defenders there. And yeah, pretty poor for me. So yeah, Blake said Ekdal had Haaland pocketed. Yeah, when he came on, he did. Yeah. Simon Townley's watching. He says hi from me in Austin. Hello, Austin. 9 o'clock, mate. Come on, get to bed. School in the morning, mate. Danny Ward says whole team asleep for their second goal. Austin, by the way, I just want to remind you. Like I said, school in the morning. Parker's asleep, mate. You should be asleep as well. Simon Townley says Dara was the best player for us yesterday. I don't understand anyone who sees different. I thought, I'm going to argue with you here, Simon. I actually thought it was Sander. I thought Dara played very well, and Dara was second best for me, in my opinion. But I do think Dara played very well yesterday. Chris P said we did miss Bayer and Taylor yesterday. Yeah, and we're going to miss them again on Saturday, probably. I'm not sure what the situation with Bayer is, but I'm pretty confident Taylor's out. Watch this, they'll both start. I've said a million times I am not RTK. True Red says first and second goals were basic defence. There was woeful. Yeah, and I saw another comment. Here we go from Danny Ward. Whole team asleep for their second goal. Yeah, let's have a look at the second goal then. Again, apologies, I can't show it yet due to copyright laws. The Premier League will sue me. But obviously, Kevin De Bruyne takes the free kick. Quick free kick. Alvarez. Who's marking Alvarez? Nobody, obviously. Nobody will mark him for the first goal. Who's on him there? Who's on Alvarez there? I can't. Is it Dara? No, it's not Dara. Vitinho. It's Vitinho. It's not Vitinho's fault. The whole team was asleep. Nobody saw the pass coming. Nobody followed the man. And it's just a simple goal. Well, it's not actually fully Vitinho, to be fair. It's Odebear, and then Vitinho tries to mop it up, to be fair. So, yeah, it's not Vitinho. Apologies. Odebear was marking him. He was asleep. Vitinho was asleep as well. And, yeah, just not a great goal to concede all round. Chris P says, I don't get the Dara slander personally. Why he's a scapegoat? It was Trafford at the start of the season. To be fair, mate, it was poor when he first came in, but it was just basic stuff, in my opinion. He'd have a good game and then he'd give the ball away, or he'd have a good game and then he'd just lose focus, and we concede the goal from his focus. He needs to concentrate for the full 90 minutes, and he is getting better, and I do think he's one of our better defenders now, if I'm being honest with you. And to be fair, Sam, who's usually on the show, who let me down today, says that, you know, he was buzzing when we signed him, but he was a little bit disappointed with how it started with him at Turf Moor. But he's ended up doing quite well, and Sam's ended up being right, to be fair. It was the first time for everything, but Sam's ended up being right. But yeah, I agree. Trafford's been the scapegoat for a lot of the season. But again, I've got to stand by the criticism that I gave him at the start of the season. He did nothing wrong yesterday, but there's still areas that he could improve in as well. But Trafford's getting better and better as the weeks go on, and so is Dara O'Shea's. But Dara's at a level now that I think we're all happy with, whereas I still think we're probably going to need Trafford to keep improving. But Trafford's going to do a lot better in life than I could ever dream of. He's going to be England's number one. And yeah, he's going to do very, very well. Simon says, any news on Benson, Roberts and Zarore? I did say we'd do transfers later in the show, but everybody's just asking about transfers now. Well, obviously, I am quite live at the minute, as you could all see. But it's, as far as I'm aware, Roberts has gone to Leeds and had his medical. It's just not been announced yet. the last I heard on Benson, he was staying to fight for his place, as a journalist said. But I think we all know that it's just a case of another deal falling through. And he's not staying because Vincent Kompany has convinced him or to fight for his place. It's just the move hasn't materialised. Because it made me laugh because Sasha, the Belgian journalist, who, in my opinion, has lost a bit of credibility this window, said he's staying. Vincent Kompany's convinced him to stay. He's going to stay at Burnley. Literally 4 hours later, he's at City and he don't play him, not even on the bench. It don't make any sense. He's clearly not convinced him to stay because he wants him to play. It's just the moves aren't happening. So, far as I'm aware, Roberts going to Leeds. Zaroury potentially Hull, I believe. But again, that one, I think the likelihood of them happening, Connor Roberts 95%, Zaroury about 75, I don't know, and probably Benson around 40. At a guess. I have never once pretended to be ITK, and I never will. Blake says, very happy with Masengoat. You spelled Masengoat wrong there, mate. Choosing to stay and fight for his place instead of going out on loan. Yeah, me too. Don't think he'll play much, though, to be honest with you. May get some sub-appearances here and there like he did last night, but I think he'll be very good in the Championship next season. Chris P said, if O'Shea had a leader next to him, he'd be a very solid defender, but we don't have one. I agree with that. I don't think we have a leader. I think probably the best leader we've got, obviously Brownhill's the captain, isn't it? But I think the best leader we've got is probably Sander, to be fair. But yeah, I think if O'Shea was next to a Tarky or a Ben Mee, he'd be very, very good. He wouldn't lose his concentration because Tarky or Ben Mee just wouldn't allow it. But yeah, Masengo feels like a new signing. Yeah, he might do in the summer, mate. He might do in the summer when we're in the Championship. Yeah, Gio says, I was thinking the same about Sasha, got loads wrong. You know what? I had never heard of him 18 months ago, or 2 years ago, sorry, when Kompany started, 18 months ago. And all of a sudden he came in, he's getting loads wrong. Who's this Sasha guy? He's class. This year, this window, sorry, he's got quite a bit wrong. So yeah, I agree. He lost a bit of credibility. And True Red says, what I don't understand is how can Vinny convince Benson saying he doesn't even play him. That's what I'm saying, mate. I don't think he does. I just think it's journalists saying we've convinced him, but it's just a case of the move falling through. Anyway, back to the City game. I think we're still in the first half here on the highlights that I'm watching. We are, so we'll skip that because Trafford made an half decent save. Here it is. The third goal, 26 seconds into the second half, and it is more. What's the word? It's more again of Burnley just being asleep, isn't it? It's more again of Burnley just being asleep. They've just come out from half time. They're not ready, and it's just poor. Like the goal is a well worked goal. I've got to give City credit for that, but it's just poor from our point of view. Like, there you go, edge of the box and into the bottom corner. It's a good goal from Rodri, to be fair. It's a good finish, similar to what he scored in the Champions League final as well, wasn't it, to be fair? It's a good finish, but I just don't see how we're so high. Like, and that's what I mean about us being asleep. We're just so high. The one ball into the box, in behind the defence, and we're all at sea. And then even then we get back, but no one's covering Rodri coming into the box because, again, we're just not aware there. He's just coming into picture now. There's nobody within 20 yards of him. It's just poor all round. And then I do want to talk about Amdouna because he missed another chance last night, a chance that at the very minimum, I understand what he's trying to do, but at the very minimum, he has got to hit the target, hasn't it? And he's through on goal. We're just watching it again now and just balloons it. I know he's trying to put it in the far corner, but yeah, it's poor. And he's not a finisher. I'll give him that. He's not a finisher. And I do think he's been played out of position, but square it. I'm just looking at it now. Square it. Square the pass. Is it Alderweireld? It is. It's Alderweireld. Square it. It's poor. Obviously, as a couple of you have said, shitting bricks when Haaland came on. Yeah, me too. Little story, and I do not condone gambling, he says, but I do work at a bookies. Sometimes work at a bookies. But Haaland come on last night, right? And I know William will do this offer for a player to score 2 or more and a hat-trick. So I just quickly shoved the £5 in my account and shoved a £5 on Haaland score 2 or more goals. And I think I'd have got like 95 quid back. So I were bricking it. But at the same time, I thought, he's obviously going to score against us. So if he scores, it's going to, numb the pain. So I thought, if I stick a £5 on, he scores 2, Burnley get beat 5-0. We all expected it. I'm 95 quid up. So, yeah, obviously that didn't happen though. But yeah, it was shitting bricks, basically, when he came on. Owen Ashworth says, thoughts on the new signing. Now, I know you don't mean Fofana, Owen. I know you mean Esteve. But I'm going to talk about Fofana here because that's teed me up nicely for his brilliant bit of work for their goal. So he's got the ball just on the right-hand side of the area. The defender comes towards him. He slows the play down. So the defender goes side on. And now, obviously, with the defender being side on, the defender can't get going quickly. If Fofana is going to have an injection of pace, that's exactly what he does. He gets going, leaves the defender flat-footed, gets him behind, puts the ball across. Al Dakil doesn't know much about it, but it doesn't matter. Like, it literally just hits him. It literally just hits him and then creeps in. The easiest goal he'll ever score because he didn't have to do anything. Like I said, it just hits him and goes in. But yeah, and it's pretty sad. I know it's sad. 36-year-old man, but I was genuinely buzzing when we scored that because I was just expecting us to be getting beat 5-0, and obviously we scored. And that's the first goal we've scored at the Etihad since Ashley Barnes in the FA Cup, isn't it? I think. Apologies if that's wrong. I was there for that one. I didn't go last night because I'm just fed up of getting dicked by City all the time, if I'm honest. But I missed a goal. But I was there as well when we drew 3-3. Do you remember Kevin McDonald? Last minute. Oh, scenes. That were absolutely scenes. But yeah, I was buzzing. Yeah, Gio does say, thank God Fulham don't have Mitrovic still. And Chris does say Fulham are getting Borgia. It's not been confirmed yet, unless it's been confirmed since I've gone on air. But Chris is right. They are getting Borgia, according to all the national media. I don't really rate him. I'd rather they have Jimenez up front, if I'm honest with you, Chris. Jimenez is injured. So that's good news for us. Chris goes on to say, I reckon left back and right wing is now our weakest areas in starting 11. Left back, definitely. Then that's when Charlie's good. So on that basis, probably not. But obviously now Charlie's out, then yeah, I think you are right. Yeah, obviously with Charlie being injured, we're just so weak at left back in the squad, aren't we? Because we've just got Charlie. That's it. We've got other players who can play there, and even other left backs. I know Dodgson's only young and not going to rip up any trees in the Premier League with respect to him just yet. He's out on loan, so it's just we'd literally just have Charlie and other players who can play there, like Vitinho, and at the minute, like Connor Roberts, like Delcourt. So yeah, I do agree that in the actual squad, left back is our weakest point. But yeah, obviously I've been chatting about that for about half an hour, so we'll do a quick 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever. Keep the questions coming in of transfers. Yeah, Esteve will be left back as probably. We'll see. But I do think you are right on that one. I will quickly bring in a screen because I do want to chat to you about some of the transfers coming in. Obviously, Maxime Esteve, he's coming. Am I pronouncing that right? Any French speakers in the chat that want to tell me if I'm pronouncing that right? Because I'm probably not. But yeah, obviously, Maxime Esteve has been officially unveiled as a Clarets. There he is, our new French wizard. Looks absolutely delighted to be here, doesn't he? He could have put a smile on his face, couldn't he? And if you look at the comments, that's what everybody is saying. David Smith, absolutely thrilled. Catherine, cheer up. Maxime, Grey Bear looks happy. The black rat, must be a pub, says looks thrilled. And yeah, it could have cracked a smile. Do you remember Aaron Lennon moving to Everton all them years ago? Reminds me of that. But yeah, I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about him. I did get a DM off a Sheffield United fan saying how much of a great signing he was. And I was like, well, what do you know about him then? I think I retweeted it, actually. It wasn't a DM, it was an at. But yeah, he was saying like he's one of the top 30 youngsters in Europe, in his opinion, and he'd love Sheffield United to sign him. Instead, we're getting Mason Holgate, were his words, and I think that's been confirmed now. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know much about him, but if a Sheffield United fan is messaging me that, and I've seen some clips on YouTube, and I know you can't base people on YouTube, I'm not going on for 1 second, use that as a thing to use and say, yes, he's great. But yeah, it looks good. It looks good. So, yeah, that's interesting. It looks like he's going to be a decent prospect. Whether he'll be able to slot in the side just yet, I'm not so sure. We'll have to see. Looks a bit like Duff, does John. It does a little bit, yeah. It does a little bit. Chris P says, I have a new job in football starting in June, working for the company that currently creates Burnley programmes. Well, you can just about see me. Congratulations there, Chris. Obviously, I've followed you on Instagram for quite a while. Burnley fan from Wales, I think that's you, innit? So I know you've been doing graphic design for a while, so well done, mate. Interested to see how you get on with that. Please tag me some of the stuff that you do, mate. Hopefully you get some stuff in the Burnley programmes. But yeah, just going back to all the rumours and stuff from today. Hull, this is 2 hours ago, by the way, and this guy's a BBC journalist. Shamoun Hafez, football reporter for BBC Sport. He said Hull are now in advanced talks over a loan deal for Anas Zaroury. Now, I don't see the point in this. I know he's not playing, so that is the point. So I do see the point in it. I've immediately contradicted myself. However, he played last night. He came on and did well last night. And I was looking at him last night thinking, maybe we've put all our eggs in the Odebear basket. Maybe Zaroury and Odebear can chop and change on that left-hand side, and we can have Zaroury playing some games, Odebear playing some games. It'll keep Odebear fresh. Zaroury looked fresh last night when he came on. He tried to run at the defence, the City defence at one point, as I said earlier. Got a free kick for it. So yeah, I'm surprised to see him leave. I'm surprised to see him leave after that, if I'm honest. But obviously Vincent will have signed it off. But yeah, it's one of them. But I'd have done this the other way around. I like Benson. I don't want him to leave, but with him not playing or even being at games, I'd have sent him on loan to Hull and kept Zaroury. I'd rather keep them both and play them both. But in the scenario where they're both not playing, I'd rather keep Zaroury and get rid of Benny, because Zaroury came on last night and did well. However, if Benny gets his chance, I do think he can do that again as well. I do think he can get his chance. So it's interesting. It's looking like Benson's going to stay. I mean, again, apologies. I'm going back to stuff from 3 hours ago. Things can change quickly on deadline day. And that's because I've just done the Fulham pre-game show before this for half an hour. Now I've been doing this for half an hour as well. So anything that's happened in the last hour, I will have missed. I will have missed. So it is what it is. Any other rumours and stuff? Let's just quickly get my Twitter page back up for you and see if there's anything that we have tweeted ourselves. No, nothing at the minute. There's nothing at the minute, unfortunately. Obviously, Maxime Estevez done. We're expecting the French lad. What's he called again? I've forgotten his name. Let me butcher it in front of you all for my last thing. Oh, that's the thing. CJ Egan-Riley's left. He's gone to PSV on loan until the end of the summer. But I believe it's with an option to buy that one. I'm not sure, to be honest. That's the French guy. Lorenz Assignon. He will be done, as far as I'm aware. He will be done, hopefully, pretty soon, because we've only got, an hour and a half until the deadline. So, yeah, he will be done. And that, I believe, is the only two players that we will be bringing in. So it is going to be just them two, with Connor Roberts likely leaving, and potentially Zaroury as well, and potentially even Benson. But the last I heard on Benson was that he will be staying. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on Saturday. As Leo says, evening, lad, what are we thinking for our starting lineup on Saturday then? Trafford in goal. Probably Dakil at left back again, with O'Shea. Maybe Bayer if he's back, but I don't think he will be at centre back. So it's probably O'Shea at centre back as well, alongside who played on Saturday. I can't remember now. Alongside Ekdal. It'll be Ekdal, won't it? Yeah, which, I mean, I always was a little bit worried about Ekdal in the Prem. I said on a few podcasts because of his lack of pace. But a lot of people, and rightly so, pointed out that he reads the game very, very well. But I didn't think he was amazing against City, if I'm being honest with you. And I think he should have been more aware for the first goal. And then at right back, Vitinho. And then I can't see much changes, to be honest with it, if I'm going to be honest with you. And then probably Odebear on the left with Brownhill and Sander in the middle. And then probably JBG on the right. Personally, I'd keep Zaroury and play him there. But probably JBG on the right. And then with Foster and Fofana is what I'd do up top. Foster and Fofana. I thought Fofana did enough to come on and get a starting place. Maybe get JBG out and stick Fofana on the right. See how he does there with Amduna in behind Foster rather than putting him alongside him. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Owen says, what position does a guy play who's having his medical? Yep, he's a right back, says Chris P there. I doubt he'll play straight away, but we said that about Luca Koleosho, didn't he? And he was thrown in at the deep end against City. So yeah, it's interesting. Interesting to see what company does. We know he likes to throw people in. Yeah, Dennis Frankie as well. He's leaving, says the True Red. Spot on, mate. That was quite early today, weren't it? So I forgot about that one. And who cares? Like, I mean, like, he's not made an appearance with the club. He came in with some high hopes for people at the club, a lot of high hopes for people at PSG who were, you know, disappointed to see him leave. But True Red says Dennis Frankie leaving permanently makes sense because he was never going to play for the first team. Yeah, I agree, mate. He's just another keeper that's just brought in as third choice, I think, on the end of it, looking at it. And then, yeah, let go. And I can't really see any other outcome for that ever happening, to be honest with you. I know he was young, but still. It's interesting to see what we do. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled on Turfcast. Let me know if you see anything. I will obviously tweet stuff as soon as it comes out. We're expecting the new French lad who, his name I've forgotten already. Lauren, I can't remember. We're expecting that to be announced. Lorenz Assignon. We're expecting that to be announced tonight. He's had his medical. Should have had it by now. They only take about an hour. And I was told about an hour and a half ago that he was having it. I say I was told. I saw it on Twitter. I think it was Fabrizio. So, yeah, we're expecting him to come in and he should be announced soon. But, yeah, it is what it is. Again, apologies. It's just been me. Hopefully the boys will be back on Sunday. The Fulham pre-game show has been recorded. It's not out yet. I will literally upload it to YouTube as soon as this is finished. If you came into this stream late, you can watch it at its full length whenever you want when I end the stream, which I will be doing in around 5 minutes. Less than that. Yeah, the problem's making the announcement video right now, says Chris. And you know what the Burnley media team are like. They are excellent at making announcement videos, but you just know it takes forever. When you look at them, you just know it takes. Although I'll tell you what, does anybody in the chat know before I do go what the one was for Frankie? I mean, I'll put it on screen for you. Not Frankie. For Maxime. I just didn't really get it. It was just Alan all over again, and I was just like, why is that? So let's have a look to see the video. I want to see what the video was again because I just didn't really get it. It was. Does anybody know what this is meant to mean?
Alan!
No, I don't think you hear me, you know. Steve.
I don't get it.
Steve!
It's not Steve. It's Esteve of the Clarets.
Oh, no, that's not Steve. That is Alan.
I mean, I know the joke's in there. It's not Steve. It's Steve. Like nobody thought it was Steve. They're a victim of their own success. That I'll put it that way. They're a victim of their own success because I just didn't really get it. But yeah, they'll be making the video now, won't they? For the right back. They'll be making the video now. Beck Holden says, "What's up with Trezor? Is he injured? I didn't know he was injured." No, I've not seen the BBC programme, Liam. Apologies. He says, how don't you get it? You've never seen the programme. No. What programme? I've never seen it. Sorry. Maybe I'm just getting too old now, mate. Maybe I'm just getting too old now. And I just don't. I know the joke's in there. It's Steve. I don't know. I've never. If it's a direct reference to a programme that I've not seen, then that's obviously why I don't get it. But yeah, just going back to Beck, what's up with Trezor? I'm not sure. I didn't realise he was injured. I know he wasn't named yesterday. But yeah, it's one of them. It's not. Let's have a look on PremierInjuries.com and see if he is injured. That's my main source of injury news, by the way. That's my main source of injury news. I use it for all my injuries. My computer is going very, very slow. So yeah, this might take a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But it is what it is. But yeah. I will quickly put this up from Owen in the chat. He says Trezor was so pointless. Obviously, I presume you mean the signing there, Owen. He's rubbish. I mean, I don't think he's rubbish, but he has definitely not hit the highs that I thought he was going to hit. You know, he was one of the best players in Europe last season, admittedly in the Belgian league. But I have been disappointed with him. There's been moments where he has looked disinterested. I'm not for 1 second saying he is disinterested. I think it's more his body language. But yeah, I won't say it's pointless, and I do think he would eventually come good if he was given time. But obviously, we're getting relegated. Let's all admit it. We're getting relegated. He's not going to stick around for the Championship, so I don't think we'll see much of him in a Burnley shirt. If I'm being honest with you, it's going to be one of them. It's going to be not a Vegor situation, because that went sour. I don't think it'll go sour with him. I just think he'll leave and we won't see him again. But yeah, I just think he's only going to be here this season. But yeah, finally, premierinjuries.com. Yeah, I'll quickly share it with you actually, so you can see what I am looking at. But yeah, there's no injury to Trezor. No injury to Trezor according to this. But obviously, I know that they do go off what managers are saying. So if Company hasn't said it, which he hasn't done because I watched the press conference because I'm a loser, he isn't injured. So there are Burnley's injuries at the minute. Nathan Redmond, which we're aware of, is out for the season. Luca Koleosho, again, we're aware of, out for the season. Charlie Taylor is got a shoulder injury, and he says with Charlie, it's something probably more chronic than acute. So we'll see. Yeah, status is 25% currently being assessed. He ain't going to be playing. Delcroix, didn't know he were injured. Must have missed that one. And Jordan Bayer, yeah, he's been out for a while, obviously, Jordan. I didn't think it'd be this long. Oh, according to this, late fitness test. Potential return, 3rd. That's obviously when we play Fulham. So Bayer might be back. But I do just want to quickly show you this. This is beautiful. And sorry to any Fulham fans watching. Jimenez, he's a very good player. And I think that's the reason why we beat them down there, because he wasn't playing. He was sent off, wasn't he, in the game before that, or 2 yellows, or an accumulation of yellows, sorry. He's out. He's not going to be playing. He's their best striker. I know, as Chris said in the chat earlier, they are signing Brozier. I don't rate him. Jimenez is a much better player for me. Harry Wilson, he creates a lot of their stuff. So Jimenez scores their goals. Wilson creates their goals, as does Issa Diop. So it's good for us. These injuries are good for us. And I've just spoke to the Fulham fan, and I'm pretty happy. Alex Ayobe as well. Adama Traore. They've got a lot of injuries there to Fulham, and I do think we are in with a good chance of picking up 3 points, I think, at the weekend because of this. Leo says, buzzing to see Trafford England under 21s with my fave guy. Yes, looking forward to it, mate. Breaking news. I'm going to Bolton under 21s. Not Bolton, England under 21s to watch Trafford. Yeah, Beck, I'm just going back to that video. Probably. I'm probably just showing my age. To be honest with you. Apologies if any of the Burnley media team do watch this, because I know people from Burnley do. But Gio says, we're going to need a busy summer window too. Cork, Taylor, Jay, Roberts, JBG may all be off. Yeah, I think we've already got cover for Roberts, obviously, with the French fullback coming in. If Taylor leaves, we literally have 0 left backs. We might as well just play 10 players and leave a massive hole at left back, because, yeah, we're going to need to sign 2 or 3 left backs if Taylor leaves. And yet... JBG is leaving at the end of the season. Is he? Not seen that. But again, I would suspect he would do, to be honest with you. But yeah, we've got to 40 minutes now, guys. I didn't expect to get this long on my own. Again, apologies, I'm on my own. I know they're not as good when I'm on my own, but I do appreciate... Hold on. Burnley official have just added to their story. Is this breaking news? No. It's a picture of Maxime Esteve. If you do want to follow Esteve on, what's it called? Instagram. Theirs is at maxime.esteve. I have followed him now. There you go, Maxime. I have followed you. So, yeah, you can follow our new recruit on Instagram there. Thank you. You've been here for the full thing, George, as well, to be fair. So, unless you just nipped in at the start and now you've nipped in again at the end to make it look like you've been here. But, yeah, give me a shout. I might be out and about having a beer before match. George, if you want to come and give me a shout if you're about. I normally go to fan zone, if I'm honest with you, but obviously I know you'll probably want to do the full shebang and go to the Daesh and stuff. So I'll probably go to the fan zone. I'll have to ask either Leo, who's in the chat, or Simon, who's in the chat as well. See if they want to get a beer with me as well. So, but yeah, he says he was here the entire time. Thank you, mate. And I tell you what, it wasn't me that did great, because without all the people commenting and giving me stuff to talk about, I would have definitely struggled. So thank you to everybody who has been commenting as well. It's probably not as good when it's not live. I'm pretty sure it isn't as good when it's not live, because there's no debate. So if you are listening on the podcast and you listen to the entire thing, thank you as well for doing that. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you very much for those of you watching. Thank you very much for those of listening. A massive thank you to those of you who have commented and kept the stream going, because it has been difficult, I'm not going to lie. And a big thank you to Wave Car Finance for sponsoring the show and continuing their sponsorship till the end of the season. But thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody listening. And I will see you next time.